Final jar, final jar, final jar. Like I said in the last video, I think this only took me like between 1 and 2 weeks to actually finish all 4 of these. So I'm actually kind of excited about how quickly I got them all done. And I gotta say, this is the only one that I feel a little unsure of how I feel about it over. Let's see, like, I liked the green when I was painting it on, but then as I was going, I was like, is this too dark? Should I, like, do a new base coat with a lighter green? Should I leave this as is? I don't know. So I did leave it as is, except for the top I did paint blue, just because that was more because I wanted to do something different with each jar. Like Shane's jar is the only one where I didn't paint the bottom on. You know, that inner part. Some I left the base color, some I colored it a different color. So I tried to make them a little bit different from each other so it wasn't like the same thing going on each time with each one of them. Hopefully that went well. I mean, I think it did. I think it looks a lot better than if I colored it like the same way, just different colors each time. And I think it makes it stand out a little bit more individually. But this one I was just having a lot of struggles with, which is odd because it was probably... Honestly, it was probably the one I was looking forward to most after Shane's jar, but I kind of made myself save it for last because I was looking forward to it. So I guess that was part of the motivation for getting the other 2 done. Maybe? I don't know. You know, at first I kind of liked all that being white. I was like, well, peacock themed, but albino peacock. So, you know, white. Although his name being Sage, I usually have him dressed in green. You know, not necessarily fully head to toe green, but green within his outfit. And like his circus outfit is green and blue. So like I did keep... Well, I know like the peacock tail has like a darker blue in it. But I did basically keep the green and blue of the original peacock tail colors. But then I wanted, you know, white to be emphasized in there. And this was me trying to do some sort of a tail design on the back. We don't talk about that once it's erased. But yeah, the white I did want to make pronounced, but then I thought, you know, maybe I'm making it too pronounced. Which I guess in some sense or another is kind of odd because, well, he's albino peacock. And I feel like there's more green and blue in there. But like I said, just I feel like his main color, like if I had to choose a main color for him, I always imagine green, and I always dress him in green. So having the green and the white was definitely 2 important colors with this one. Although it is definitely quite odd that this one gave me like the most amount of trouble, because character-wise, him and Bria would be the least amount of trouble. Like normally Sage would be the one to try and prevent people from getting in trouble or being punished or etc. etc. But no, painting his jar, he gave me the most trouble. And I can't decide how I feel about it. So like, let me know what you think of this down below in the comments, what you would have done differently with this one. Yeah. Bounce some ideas around. Love that. And at this point, with the dark blue, I thought it might be kind of fun to do a peacock tail on that. Like the design again. Ended up not liking that. Went back and erased it at some point. Did a couple of, like, tail feather designs here with, you know, with the pattern. Did not erase those, by the way. Kept those. Yeah, and then I used... See, that rectangle is for another project. I videoed the intro and the base coloring. Not the base coloring, the gessoing. And a little bit more prep work with that. But I am so far from getting that particular project done. There's no way I'm going to have that done for next week. I don't really know what I'm doing for next time. Well, next week, as in the time of recording, it might be past that by the time I actually get this uploaded, because I, once again, still have not quite decided exactly the schedule of uploading these jars that I'm going to do, but I'm definitely going to have this one last. Yeah. It should be obvious by the time this uploads, but, you know, none of these are uploaded at the time of recording, so I went there. And yeah, you can see where I erased everything else, and I made the paint get a little chunky, but yeah. That base color green was really, really thick, and I need to add some water to that at some point to try and thin it down, because I can't use thick paint. Are we nuts? I'm nuts. Yeah, I know, like, or I assume the higher quality paints are a lot thicker, so I'm sure a lot of people like those more, but I'd water them down anyway, and, because, like, my cheap paints I water down, so, like, yeah. And then I found some viney thingy ribbon in my drawer, and I absolutely had to use it. I did have, like, a shiny green, some shiny blues, and a little bit of white, but that viney leafy one just felt so perfect that I was actually kind of looking forward to getting through the painting just so I could add that on. And yeah, like, this is the only one where I actually went across the jar with my ribbon. Well, I mean, I did put it on the jar of Cheyennes, but, like, you know, just at the top. This is going, like, around the main part of it. Oh, I don't know if that one made sense either. But yeah, no, here's a finished sage jar. And there's the inside. Nothing special but the inside. I don't really know what I'm putting in here yet, in any of these. So if you guys have suggestions for that, let me know. I mean, I could probably put, like, little snacks or something in there. So I'll figure it out later. I don't even know where I'm putting these. I have no room for them. I don't have room for, like, anything that I've painted on. Like, my shelf that I wanted to display Cheyenne art on, yeah, that's just sitting off to the side. Not in a very nice spot to be displayed. Because sadly, I have no room left. But hopefully you guys like these as much as I do. If not, that's fine too. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You can let me know either way down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I'm very, very happy to see them all together like this. And hopefully you guys will be back for the next project, or maybe just hang on to my Discord down below, or, you know, whatever you're up for. And until then, bye-bye!